Hey, welcome back. This is a wicked Woman Wednesday show. It's a fire-breathing dragon of a Woman Wednesday show. And when things get too hot in here, because Woman Wednesday is such a hot show, we got to cool things off and throw some water on it before there's an inferno by going to something much more boring, this ridiculous joke of an impeachment hearing. Let's go down to Washington to the live feed from the Kabuki Theater in Congress, where they're trying to impeach Donald Trump for a phone call to another president. Here we go. I think we're going.
Find out about that, so whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution, so if you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me. Mr. Kent, when you hear those words, do you hear the president participating in or requesting a thoughtful and well-calibrated anti-corruption program?
I do not.
And Mr. Kent and Mr. Taylor, the defenders of the president's behavior have made a big deal out of the fact that Vice President Biden encouraged the Ukrainians to remove a corrupt former Ukrainian prosecutor, 2016, Mr. Shokin. And in fact, Senator Rand Paul on Sunday said, and I quote him, "They're impeaching the President Trump for exactly the same thing that Joe Biden did." Is that correct? Is what the president did in his phone call and what Joe Biden did in terms of Mr. Shokin, are those exactly the same things? And if not, how are they different?
I do not think they are the same things. What former Vice President Biden requested of former President of Ukraine, Poroshenko, was the removal of a corrupt prosecutor general, Viktor Shokin, who had undermined a program of assistance that we had spent, again, U.S. taxpayer money, to try to build an independent investigator unit to go after corrupt prosecutors. And there was a case called the Diamond Prosecutor case, in which Shokin destroyed the entire ecosystem that we were trying to help create. The investigators, the judges who issued the warrants, the law enforcement that had warrants to do the wiretapping, everybody to protect his former driver whom he'd made a prosecutor. That's what Joe Biden was asking, remove the corrupt prosecutor.
So Joe Biden was participating in an open effort, established whole of government effort to address corruption in Ukraine.
That is correct.
Great. So, Mr. Kent, as you look at this whole mess, Rudy Giuliani, President Trump, in your opinion, was this a comprehensive and whole of government effort to end corruption in Ukraine?
Referring to the requests in July?
Exactly.
I would not say so. No, sir.
Yeah, I don't think President Trump was trying to end corruption in Ukraine. I think he was trying to aim corruption in Ukraine at Vice President Biden.
Again, my grandfather used to say this to me: never trust a guy in a bow tie unless he's at a black tie affair. You know what I mean? But these people are not people. These people are trained assets. They've been embedded in the deep state for a long, long time. The guy Kent admitted that he's part of the deep state. He says we've been doing this stuff for years. Mr. Taylor is a valiant and honorable guy who fought for our country, our rights and freedoms, and I credit him for that. This is a whole lot to do about nothing, Frankie boy. I don't know. I don't get it. They're giving me the Dante Culpepper. That means we've got to wrap it up. But don't go anywhere. Mix up a cold drink. You're going to need a sip, because after this, we're going to come back and do the WTF, What's the Facts, where Frank corrects all the mistakes I made in today's show.